What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, ready to deliver you some more fellow videos for the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what you've been seeing. Basically, we're currently sitting with a record of 4-2. I still haven't had my Week 7 match. I'm really far behind. I still need to get that done, but I plan on getting that done as soon as possible, and then I have to hop right into doing my Week 8 match. But before that and everything, I wanted to start getting these videos recorded. To update you guys on what's been going down. This video, we're going to talk about the two matches that were forfeited to me. Basically, week 3, we were set to take on Angel, and I forget what his team name was. To be totally honest, I don't remember at all. Final Destructors or something like that. Something weird or something like that. I don't really remember. No, it wasn't the Final Destructors. I can't remember what his team was. But he actually decided to forfeit last minute. I messaged him on Sunday of the week, and he forfeited last minute. Sadly, I don't still have that team saved, so I can't go over that with you guys. But recently, for week 6, we were set to take on Marcelo, and when the day came for us to have our battle, he decided that he was just going to forfeit. He wasn't really too worried about it. He decided to forfeit to us, which kind of sucks. I was really looking forward to battling Marcelo, but, I guess, IRL stuff has to come first, and he had to do what he got to do, so that's entirely okay. But I do want to still go over my team for y'all, just so you guys know what my plan was to take him on, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. His team consists of Mega Pinsir, Skarmory, Haxorus, Espeon, Blastoise, Aromatisse, Mamoswine, Rotom-Mow, Regirock, Monferno, Dragalge, and Girafarig. So, a couple things that I noticed in his team, hazard removal is literally just Blastoise and Skarmory. Really both terrifyingly good. So hazards was a really tough thing to even consider bringing in this match. I actually don't believe that I brought hazards. I did not bring hazards. I just brought hazard removal for this team. But really well built team overall. A lot of things that really do a lot of damage. So definitely very threatening. Overall though, I think I had a really good plan in place to take his team on, and the first mon to do that with was going to be Igneal, our Mega Charizard Y. I had max speed, max special, or not 232 speed, then max special attack. But 232 speed allowed me to speed creep the max speed Jolly Haxorus, outspeed that thing by 1 point. Basically, if there was ever a situation where Haxorus was in front of us, I wanted to make sure that I could outspeed it, and then I could pop that thing with a Will-O-Wisp. I do pack the Will-O-Wisp. I could live any hit from at +1. I'm like 99% positive I lived any hit at +1, and I could still burn it. So that's really cool. Fire Blast and Solar Beam are pretty much standard on like most Megazard Y sets, just because they're so good. I mean, Fire Blast blows away Mega Pinsir and Skarmory, and Blastoise, which would probably try to be a switch into that, does not take a Solar Beam at all. So, pretty much whatever would have switched in to the Fire Blast, Solar Beam takes out, which is really nice. And then I had the Roost for recovery, just to keep Zard around a little longer. The next mon we were bringing was going to be Shazam, our Heliolisk, Choice Scarf Solar Power once again. It's just hard not to run this set, it really is. Again, I decided not to I didn't have to speed creep the Pinsir, because with the Scarf, I do already outspeed it, and it can't be any faster than it is. So I decided just to speed creep the Haxorus, so 160 speed EVs does that for me with a Timid Nature. The rest went into HP and special attack. Maxed out the special attack and threw the rest in HP. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Surf, and Hyper Voice. Volt Switch and Thunderbolt are really useful because a lot of the mons on the team don't appreciate it. There's only one ground type on the team, being Mamoswine, which if the Mamoswine had shown up, I could literally just click Surf on instead of Volt switching. So I could easily take it out with a Surf. This was a situation that had to take place outside of the sun, though, because Surf in the sun I don't believe takes out. So that's really cool. That's really, really cool. And the Hyper Voice, honestly, it's literally just for the entirety of the resistances. Hyper Voice for the Rotom-Mow, Hyper Voice to hit the Dragalge, Hyper Voice to hit the Haxorus, and stuff like that, just so that we have something that's going to hit really, really hard on those Mons that could switch in and try to block us from doing any real damage, which is really cool. Hyper Voice from this thing really freaking hurts. So that's not it's not something that anyone wants to get in the way of. And to be honest, it's really deadly. So that is our Shazam set. Next up, we had Imhotep, our Cofagrigus, rocking the Rocky Helmet. This thing was our immediate switch into Mega Pinsir, because Mega Pinsir's aerialate ability is what makes it so good. And if I switch in, it's going to lose that ability by hitting me. I'm going to eat the hit up like it's nothing. It's going to lose the aerialate ability, get Mummy, and then not be able to touch me. So Cofagrigus is an immediate switch into that and immediately beats it. This thing also takes any one hit from a +1 Haxorus really, really easily. This thing can handle a lot of different Mons on the opponent's team. This thing is an immediate switch in to the Monferno, get rid of its... I can get rid of Sturdy on Skarmory if I switch into a Brave Bird. I can get rid of Iron Fist on Monferno if I switch into the proper move. I can even get rid of Mold Breaker on Haxorus so that I can bring in a Levitator if I had one with me, which would be cool. You know, a lot of options that come with Cofagrigus. Will-O-Wisp to burn things, a lot of things that I want burned. Mega Pinsir, Skarmory, Haxorus. Burn the Pig, Mr. Mamoswine, burn Regirock. So, like, half his team I'd like to have Will-O-Wisp on, so that'd be nice. Shadow Ball and Dark Pulse are pretty much all the coverage I needed for this matchup. I decided to run the Dark Pulse because if I just ran Shadow Ball, then Girafarig would be able to easily wall me. If he brought it, Girafarig would be able to come in and just sit there in front of me, and that's it. I can't touch it, so I had to run the Dark Pulse so that if the case of the Girafarig happened, I could just click Dark Pulse instead and hit that thing really, really hard. And then I decided to run the Pain Split just because, you know, this thing's HP stat's pretty low. I can definitely capitalize off of that and really whittle down some members of his team if I start taking some heavy damage. So that was our Cofagrigus set. Next up, we had Choice Scarf, Gothitelle, Shadow Tag preference here, Psyshock, Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, and Trick. Running just enough speed to outspeed. What did we outspeed with this? We actually didn't outspeed anything. What was? What speed did we hit with the Scarf? I need to see that. What speed do we hit with the Scarf? 227 times 1.5, 340.5, otherwise known as 341. So that was our way of outspeeding the Mega Pinsir. So if Mega Pinsir started going on a rampage, we could take a quick attack, trap that bitch in, and Thunderbolt him away. Get him out of there. So that would have been really nice. Preference could have really done that very nicely. The Thunderbolt was also for the Blastoise and the Skarmory. Really, really nice way to beat the Skarmory, trapping it with the Gothitelle and just Thunderbolting it to death. Really, really nice. I also had the Trick. If I could trick a Scarf onto something really slow, if I could trick a Scarf onto maybe the Aromatisse, that'd be really, really nice. Completely cripple the Aromatisse. I could also completely cripple something like the Regirock or the Dragalge. Well, not so much Dragalge. Dragalge would actually benefit from the Scarf. But tricking a Scarf onto an Aromatisse, a Blastoise, a Regirock, something like that would be absolutely detrimental and completely cripple the Mon for good. Grass Knot was there because of the Mamoswine. I feel like in a case of maybe like the Blastoise, Marcelo would have run something like a Shed Shell to get the Blastoise out of there, since it's one of his better hazard removers, especially against my team. Well, actually, not so much against my team, but neither of his hazard removers have a good matchup against my team. But you know, maybe if I could predict that, and then the Mamoswine would come in on the Thunderbolt, and I would hit it with a Grass Knot, and that thing would die. Like I said, you know, if I trapped the Mamoswine, I could kill it with the Grass Knot. Grass Knot does a lot of damage, especially since we're modest, which is really, really cool. One of the rare occasions where I actually got the chance to run Modest Goth instead of Timid, because, you know, his team was a bit slower than some of the others. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah. And then the next mod we decided to bring was Gaia, our Cavalier with the Assault Vest. I forgot to take Swarm off of you. It's a good thing that we didn't have that in the battle. It would have been Shell Armor anyway. Max Attack, Adamant Nature, 168 into HP. We actually ran some Speed Investment. That Speed Investment is there so we can outspeed the Aromatisse. Made sure that we could outspeed Aromatisse. Actually would have had, if I looked at this again, I would have changed it to that. So that, because if they're trying to outspeed a speed creep, they're going to bump their speed up to 2 points above, and then I would bump up to 3 points above. So 97 speed would speed creep, a potential speed creep with the Aromatisse. So I would then be able to outspeed it and hit it extremely hard with an Iron Head. We had the knockoff, get rid of items, and Mega Horn, which absolutely nukes a large portion of Marcelo's team. And then we had the counter. Counter is our kind of way of beating the Mega Pinsir sweep. If Mega Pinsir got an SD up, we can bring this thing in. We can actually take any one hit and counter that thing. I'm 90% positive to take any one hit. I could be talking on my ass at this point. This is also a way of beating the Haxorus. If it tries to sweep, I know I can take a hit from a +1 Haxorus, maybe not +2, but most likely +1, and counter would kill. Counter could have been useful against a lot of his team, the Mamoswine, the Regirock, the Monferno, maybe, if I could live a hit. Stuff like that. It could be really useful to use the counter against them to whittle them down. But that was going to be our Gaia set. And the last one is very standard. Life Orb, Analytic, Starmie. Nothing too spectacular. We had enough speed to outspeed the entire team naturally, so we outsped the Espeon and whatnot. We get the Life Orb so we can switch up our moves. Had the Rapid Spin because Starmie likes to set up hazards. Mamo can set up rocks. Regirock sets up rocks. I think Monferno gets rocks. I know Inferno gets rocks. I'm not sure about Monferno. I think Monferno does, though. And Dragalge gets Toxic Spikes. All of those things I don't want on my side of the field. So that's not cool. But if I go up against a Scarf Mon, if I move second, I'm going to do a lot more damage with the Analytic, which is really nice, because I would predict there to be at least one Scarfer. Or the case of Mega Pinsir going for Quick Attack. Quick Attack would go first, and then I would take damage, and then I would also be able to blow it out of the universe with a Life Orb Analytic boosted Ice Beam. So that is cool stuff. Scald, Psyshock, Ice Beam, all the coverage I needed for this match. Scald hits the Scald fucks up the Monferno, it fucks up the Regirock, it fucks up the Memo. Ice Beam will fuck up the Haxorus and the Mega Pinsir and the Rotom-Mow. And then the Psyshock fucks up the Dragalge and the what else does it fuck up? What else does the Psyshock fuck up? Did I fuck something up? No, it also fucks up the Monferno. It's like dual coverage from Monferno because Monferno's such a threat. But, yeah, that would have been the team we would have brought against Marcelo. At least you get to see into my thought processes here. We do get a 3-0 victory for the forfeit, which is cool and everything. I'm happy that we got a victory, but, you know, I don't like taking forfeits. It's just bothering me a little bit, so that's neither here nor there. I can't really help that, but what can you do? But, yeah, next week we take on East in the Alabama Alakazams. He hasn't had the best season, but he has a really terrifying team, so I'm really, really worried about the matchup, but it's going to be a good one regardless of how it turns out. I'm just excited to be a part of this. I love this league. These guys are really cool people. And it's really, really super competitive. So I just look forward to what's in store, you know. But with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, guys, I'm PokePrimer, signing off.